You have maybe some man boobs.
I'm like having a hot boy summer, but I'm not in hot boy summer bod.
I know what I mean.
I know what I mean?
Feeling. Everything that we do with Denny is about a challenge, right? If you're winning, it makes you want to keep going. Welcome to Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, presented by NASCAR on Fox. I'm Kevin Harvick. She's Caitlin Vinci. The one and only Mamba Smith.
Hey. The one and only. That is a factual.
Yeah.
Loving the fit today, sir. Your stylist is doing well.
She does a good job. She does not miss.
Stylist.
Yeah.
He has a stylist.
Yeah. I have a new shipment.
It shows. I like the neutrals, the neutral palette.
Yeah, it's really
Very
good for my
nice.
complexion.
Yeah.
Kevin, I like your blues.
Yeah, well,
it's a blue belt with a blue
I
shirt.
pulled my shirt out of the golf section today.
You don't golf, though.
Oh, I'm like, oh, that one looks good.
Yeah, but you don't golf.
Good.
Yeah, but I like to wear the golf shirt.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I do like that the shoes go with the whole fit. Like
Yes.
the tongue of the shoe. If
The
you
tongue
can't
of the
see
shoe.
the tongue of the shoe
Ah.
is also blue.
Yes.
It's a nice
Well,
touch.
I mean, there's no reason to try to look bad. I guess I could have worn black shoes or something to really throw it off. Maybe I should come in here one day just completely uncoordinated, just for fun.
Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Go the
I don't
other
see
way.
you
Like come
doing
out
that.
suited and booted if you're gonna do it.
Suited and booted.
Yeah. Don't go that way.
Like the blues.
Yeah.
Brings out your eyes. Blue.
Yeah.
Listen to her.
Listen.
I wore black.
Yeah.
My soul.
And you got new
Black
glasses.
is beautiful. Stop
I got
it.
new glasses.
Yeah.
The nerd got new glasses.
Oh.
So
But you're our favorite nerd, KB. We appreciate
I do
your
my
stats
best here, you know,
and
with
everything
the
you do
stats.
for the show.
Welcome in, everybody, to episode 48. Here we are, episode 48. Lots to talk about as we leave a very eventful weekend in Dover. You were there, so was I for part of it. And we'll preview, of course, Indianapolis coming up and share your sips. You got a big list of sips this
Listen,
week.
we're getting dirty.
We're getting
Yes,
drunk.
we are.
We're getting dirty with the sips today. Love it. The closers were out. A lot of people
Yes.
always grab. It's always great when you go to just any track or anywhere and people are like, man, we love you on the podcast.
They do.
And they
Jeez.
really love the Mamba social sips. So we appreciate you.
They really love Kevin.
I'm happy that they listened to the whole thing to get to that part. So at least we know that they're listening.
Yes, they are listening.
The listen rate is really good for a
Very
happy
good.
hour.
I do always have people stop and say things about it when I'm at the track.
I don't know. It's
about
so
you.
cool.
Yeah, it's fun, and really anywhere in the country, all the way to Washington State. We've heard about it. I was in Michigan this week, and lots of people listening to the show. So
Nice.
yeah.
How was your
I like that.
weekend? What'd you do?
Well, my weekend was great. I went on the lake and rode around
Big
in the
lake
boat.
guy.
Big late guy now.
We raced on Wednesday night, so my weekend was free.
That
so,
is nice.
Oh, what happened in that race?
I crashed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I ran good though.
You did run good.
Yeah.
You didn't run.
Keelan and I both. I got to move him out of the way for the first time. That was fun. But yeah, we had a fun time. Owasso Speedway, they have put so much money and time into that racetrack. Completely redone surface. Have a brand new 8,800 square foot 8,800 person grandstand on the back straightaway.
wow.
That's awesome.
We had 10,000 people show up
Hell yeah.
Oh,
in the
my.
middle of the week. So
Yeah.
That's
short
awesome.
track racing, asphalt short track racing is alive and well. But the promoter and the owners of Owasso Speedway have done a great job. So we went there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, came home Thursday, and chilled out for the weekend.
Spent some time on the water.
That's the effect. That's the effect when big NASCAR dips back, right? Like having guys like you, and obviously Keelan's doing so much, but like just having people reach back. People want to see us everywhere.
They do.
Just gotta give it to them.
And on a Wednesday night.
That's
the race
great.
paid, I think we had 29, 30 cars.
Didn't you tell me it was like a $25,000
$25,000 to win.
Yeah. That's a big show.
You know, I think that as we see those purses start to go up and consistently, right, we're seeing more and more of these purses. We've got the Cars Tour Throwback race coming up August 2nd at Hickory, pays $50,000 to win.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, Flo, a big part of that to get the purse up. And so $50,000 for the late model stocks and $30,000 for the pro late models. So,
Awesome.
yeah. So I get to race by myself this week.
Well, you need to, because if you don't, you just get your butt whooped.
Yeah.
He's
I'm getting
4-0. Keelan's 4-0.
I know.
Well, that one doesn't count.
Oh,
It's not part of the Harvick Cup.
It wasn't part of the Harvick Cup.
Oh, it wasn't part of the Harvick Cup.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just
Yeah.
so happens to be that.
Yeah, so he made kind of a bonehead move and kind
Into
of
one.
dinged a guy
Yeah.
into one, and it shot him up the racetrack. And of course, Dad's on the outside of the guy. And I don't think anybody told him that I was out there.
Yeah.
And he kind of squeezed me up into the fence, but really good racing.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of fun.
Piper was in a car too with you.
Piper was, yes. So they built, they built two. There's a picture of Piper before. We're going to drive that car behind us. They built two brand new ride-along cars
awesome.
at Owasso Speedway.
The
So
Outlaw Super Late.
this was
So
I drove
high
the Outlaw
downforce.
and Keelan drove the super late model. So Piper was worried about her helmet, and of course, the first time I hit the brakes, she couldn't see right there. So she's waving at me. I can't see. Of course, I'm not paying attention. I'm just don't look over.
Your helmet looks great.
Yeah.
That's the little chin's hanging out the bottom.
They had all the gear and everything that you needed for all the ride-alongs. And then race day, I gave they auctioned off a race fan, and this is Delena's mom right here with Keelan. She's riding with Keelan. She'll be 80 soon, and she had the time of her life.
She's a great
with
time.
the ride-along. So she's
That's
jumping out of
cool.
airplanes, riding along in race cars.
You said jumping out of airplanes?
Adventurous.
Yeah,
She jumped out of a plane.
skydive.
Well, I mean, she didn't just jump. I mean, she
I know, but
skydived.
but still at that age, that's impressive.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
when I'm 80, I hope I have as much energy as she does.
She's so much
Yes,
fun.
me too.
She is.
She's so much fun.
So we had a great time at Owasso.
Good.
Off to Colorado National this week.
Off
All
to
right.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Heavy West Coast swing right now for the Harley
Yeah,
clan.
it's true.
Well, that was in Michigan.
Yeah, it feels West Coast though.
It was right in the dead middle
Don't you
state
call,
of Michigan.
Don't we call that Midwest?
I'm not sure what you call
New
Michigan.
Or,
No,
well,
no,
actually,
no,
Michigan
New
is
England.
not
Midwest.
England.
So what is definitely Midwest?
Midwest.
Kansas.
Kansas for sure. Iowa, like Illinois, Michigan.
You sure?
It's at least north.
I like this
Yeah.
geography lesson
Yeah.
we're having here today.
It's either that or Daenerys.
How was your weekend in Dover? Were you sweating? I know I was. It was hot out there.
Listen,
It was hot
Holy
here.
moly.
it was like a boiler. We were hot. It was humid. It rained.
Yes.
It was hot. It got steamy. But it
what
was
do you
a great
wear?
time. What did
Yeah. I mean, were you dressed for hot?
No, not really. And so here's the thing. I have these two pairs of pants that I wear for that stuff. And it's like I have these joggers that look
For
really good.
broadcast?
Yeah. For
Okay.
for broadcast.
Yeah.
I have these joggers that look really good, and then these like slacks that look good. But
Slacks.
I keep forgetting my belt for the slacks. So
Oh,
like
no.
for like 3 weeks in a row, I've been wearing the joggers.
but your belt pack doesn't help hold it up.
Yeah,
your
but like
RF
I just didn't really want to risk it while you have to run down pit road to do something. And
You
then-
didn't have plumber's ass, did you?
No. So I had my belt
Okay.
this week. So I brought the other pants, but like I had to switch midday because like one was hotter than the other. It was a whole thing, man.
Oh, this does
It was
sound
a whole
involved.
I'm starting to worry
It
that
was
you might be
swampy.
worrying about your attire too much.
No, I don't know. If you saw my jacket this weekend, that jacket was fire. My boy,
That's the
Jacket
other
was
problem.
cute.
what?
Like it's 100 degrees and you're wearing a jacket.
You got to commit to the bit. You got to commit to the bit. And my boy, Genius Jacket, Ben, he does a great job with those. So
Mm.
we
Maybe you
get
should
one.
save those for the fall.
We didn't have fall. You know what I mean? It was summer.
Maybe you should come out in like a tank top.
They wanted me to come out topless, just with the
Topless?
jacket.
What?
They wanted me to they wanted me to do the
Who's
hit.
they?
My TNT folks. They wanted me to do the
Oh,
hit.
heavens.
They wanted me to do the hit without like a.
I'm
I'm glad
undershirt.
you vetoed
So just
that.
with the
That would
with the
have been
jacket.
bad.
I could have been sitting out there with no shirt on for too long.
And what was the reason that you vetoed it?
Well, I'm like having a hot boy summer, but I'm not in hot boy summer bod.
Hot boy
You know what I mean?
summer.
You know what I mean?
feeling.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're good, but we're not that good.
Worried that your belly would be the primary focus of
Listen,
attention.
if I can
belly
get,
button sticking out.
if I can get to my Austin Boston era of
Who's
body
Austin
type.
Boston?
Austin Boston is
His
my
friend,
my boy,
bestie.
he's
Okay.
one of my producers for like NASCAR stuff. You've met
Yeah.
him before. He does a great job with all that stuff, but he works out a ton. And
Yeah.
so
Okay.
my boy is shredded. I'm not there.
Do you work
Yeah.
out a ton?
I work out.
Okay.
I'm not
So
gonna say a ton.
So you have maybe some man boobs and
No.
and an excessive belly button
No,
hole.
listen, we have to talk about race cars. Why are we talking
Yeah.
about men's body? Don't be like,
You brought it up.
no, I didn't.
brought
You
it
brought it up. You said you were going to wear the jacket shirtless.
Tyler, get this thing
All
back
right,
on the rails.
you
Tell Caitlin to
two,
move along.
We'll discuss this more later off camera. Okay.
We're like 20 minutes in. I haven't even talked about a race car yet.
That's not true. We're only 12 minutes in.
Oh, okay.
I haven't let it completely go off the tracks. All right, guys, let's talk about Denny Hamlin. First driver to make it to 4 wins so far this season. Put on kind of a masterclass showing his veteran prowess at the end of that race.
Yeah, and I think when you use the word veteran, I think that's really where it comes into play. They made veteran crew chief call to get themselves the track position. He had veteran restarts there at the end, holding them off on old tires. And, I think as you look at Briscoe here at the end and so close right there, I felt like Denny was just going to get beat up on pretty bad right here. But both corners, I felt like Chase was really close to executing and finishing the pass right there. And we saw Christopher Bell, we'll see that in a minute, fail at that once earlier on one of the restarts as well. So Denny did a great job. And I think right now, he's so smart about the way that he races. And they've got the pit strategies and calls to go along with it. Obviously, their cars are fast enough to put them in position to be on the right strategies and do things like that. But that's not easy, restarting on old tires. I think the rain and sitting there so long, getting everybody's stuff cooled back down, everybody being on cycled tires like that. But saw the strategy get mixed up a little bit there at the end with those guys pitting. I think it was Blaney was 7th or 8th.
Yeah, he was like 7th or 8th.
And when he came onto pit road, I was like, ooh, that's more guys coming to pit road than I thought. But 2 tires and so few laps weren't able to make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's a gamer.
Yeah.
Denny is a gamer, man. Like it's weird that it hasn't translated into a championship yet. But when the money's on the line, especially if he's leading, that's a really hard pass to make. Like he puts his car exactly where it needs to be. Unlike years prior with this generation of cars, maybe put people in a more compromising situation, like with Larson at like Pocono or like Kansas. But now I feel like he's putting himself in the best position, and then it's like up to you and to make the pass. And they got there. They both ran him down. They both made the move and had the position, and they couldn't execute the pass. And I'm gonna give that to Denny's veteranness and his savvy. Veteranness.
Is that a good word?
Yeah.
Is that a real word?
It's not, but
not,
I do like
it. Don't check the.
I was just asking.
Listen, don't.
She's
don't
the smart
fact
one
check.
on the show.
She is that.
Yeah.
Don't fact check. We make up stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting listening to Denny talk on the post-race show for you guys about how he felt like he was starting over this year when they made the crew chief change. And he said he went to Coach Gibbs and was like, I don't want to start all over. Like he had some doubts going into the year with that transition taking place. And now he's like, this is so great for Chris Gale to see him be able to work with a veteran driver. And he said not having to babysit somebody. It's very interesting to see how well they've worked together.
And that's kind of what I was getting at earlier with his experience and everything that he has going. That system that he and Chris Gabehart had, and his commitment to the time that it takes to do everything, and really not changing much with any of the rules. There's been some tire changes and things this year. I think he knows what he wants his cars to feel like. They already had some pretty good baseline stuff that they've been able to build on. And we talked about it early in the year. They've got to get going. They've got to get the performance going right off the bat to not have to start answering the questions. And they've never really wavered. And I think that a lot of that is on Denny because of the fact that he can be the leader of the team by not having to be babysat. With the things that he needs to do, how they need to do those things, his process already in place, right? Of the time that he spends, the day of the week, and they're not developing setups. They probably are now, trying to make changes to the things that they did. But when you have that system and most of the guys on the team stay in place, they've done a good job of being able to make that a seamless transition. And as you hear on the Victory Lap, interviewing Denny today and listening to him talk, I mean, we don't even talk about it anymore, right? It's now they're just winning races, been to victory lane 4 times, and can it result into a championship? That's really the final question that is going to come out of this season.
that Victory Lap interview is available now. I want to ask you this. You can obviously speak to this. I was doing some research because you guys know I am a nerd.
Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson's last win was in 2017. He was 41 years old.
Mhm.
You were very competitive through your entire career, later in age as well. But to me, do you think that's significant what Denny's doing at 44? It's like he's as competitive as ever.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. I think when you're in that mode and you have the right team and you have the right pieces and you know, I think as Stewart Haas Racing fell apart at the end, the enthusiasm level of what I wanted to do went down.
Yeah.
I already knew what I was doing with Fox. I think if Fox wasn't there, it's still competitive. I mean, there's a good possibility that I would have probably kept going because of the fact that you thought you could win. I think as long as Denny's in position to win and willing to put in the time like he does, I almost think that the crew chief change probably helped the longevity of how much longer he'll drive because he had a new challenge.
Rejuvenated.
And everything that we do with Denny is about a challenge, right? It's a complete disaster everywhere but the driver's seat. Outside of that, right?
Right.
Like you look at the lawsuit and you look at, you know, the 45 and the 23 not running great. And so everything around him is maybe it's not a disaster, but it's just
It's in turmoil.
It's in turmoil.
Yeah.
And
It's a good
now
way
you got to
put
go
it.
all the way into the end of the year to have this December trial and everything with NASCAR. Your cars are unchartered. You've got a new baby at home, a newborn child at home. You know that you're trying to figure out how to balance life.
Yeah, new dynamic.
And so all those dynamic, but I think he does better when it's like that. I really do. And I
does,
think that it's just those individual challenges of trying to say, okay, well, this is new. So this is intriguing. And that's kind of how it was for me too. You had those new challenges of things that you could challenge yourself with. And that's what keeps you motivated. And if you're winning, it makes you want to keep going.
Some people are just really
Thrive.
They really
under
thrive
those.
when they get more stuff piled on.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost like a fight or flight situation where like you either got to make this happen or it's all going to fall apart. And if you can manage how to stay in there in that little bit of range, then you can be really great. And it's like what I think Logano says all the time, pressure is a privilege. And he enjoys that too. So, I mean, Denny's a walking Hall of Famer. Like, in what he's doing at this stage of his career with all the things, it's pretty impressive.
Is.
You got to
It really
give him credit
is.
for that for sure.
58 wins.
He went ahead and antagonized everybody a little more after the race.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He
when he got out of the car?
Yeah.
You're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
I would just want to know what item he was holding in Victory Lane because we had an internal discussion about this.
I don't know.
I thought it was a whip. I thought it was a hair
rubber at
weave.
first.
I didn't really know what hair extensions.
When you zoomed in on it,
is-
it definitely looked like a whip maybe from
But
the
Kevin, I
racetrack.
think, is right. It must have some connection with horse racing.
Yeah, because they raced little horse buggies, around there at Dover.
the dirt.
Yeah.
We have questions. I
Yeah.
want an answer.
And I also asked him, I said, there was a casino there. I didn't see any videos this weekend of you winning any money.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Apparently you didn't gamble.
Wow.
No gambling this weekend.
Really?
That's not.
No.
That's a lot
Left
of
it up
character.
to his mom at the penny slots. He said.
He said what?
He left it to his mom at the penny
Oh,
slots.
Penny
that's
slot. She was
funny.
handling all that.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Well, hey, he's changed man.
I don't think so.
Okay, I want to talk about Christopher Bell now because you referenced him. It seemed like it was going to be a great day for him. Pretty unbelievable. He had 2 big spins and somehow managed to not get hit twice.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Especially
Yes.
the second one.
And this is the difference between Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell, right? Like Denny's going to go as fast as he can go and not spin out. And, I think that's you look at Bell and you look at Larson and some of those guys, they get themselves into these positions. It's the dirt car mentality. It's just like drive it to the edge and if it spins out, okay. If it does, if it doesn't, then I guess it works. But I think in these scenarios, this is still one of Bell's weaknesses, in my opinion. Not being able to race for the win on the outside right here. That's super easy to do. But when we're talking about at Dover, because of all the bumps that get in the corner and the stops and everything, super easy to do that one. But when you're racing for the win, you've got to be able to capitalize on, if you don't win, finish second.
Yeah.
and being able to do that and not step over the edge. And that's just one of the things that Bell needs to get better at, in my opinion, of not stepping over the edge. We've seen it happen a number of times, and it puts them in a bad spot. And ultimately, I think that makes it harder to win a championship because you're going to make those mistakes in those pressure moments of not finishing second.
Yeah.
And it becomes extremely important in the last 10 weeks. I love the mentality, but it's just not NASCAR productive all the time to win a championship, to finish it off.
Yeah, I just really, looking at how the end of that race unfolded, I was like, man, the 20 and the 19 both had shots. Like they both had
cars that
they both really should have been able to make that pass.
You think the 19 should have been more aggressive?
Yeah, I think the 20 and the 19 should have been more aggressive. I mean, the aggression with the 20 is a little different because of how it worked out, but like he was trying to stay off of Denny, right? Or else he doesn't spin, because he kind of barely gets into him and then spins. So like, I think that Denny is less concerned about putting himself in a bad spot. Like, I think that he makes people think.
You think he's less concerned about putting them in a bad spot?
Yes.
Or himself?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no,
you said
right.
himself.
Yeah, no, himself. Yeah.
He's less concerned about putting them in a bad spot.
Yes. I think he doesn't mind making them have to make a calculated decision on if you're going to go in and talk to coach about why these two cars are wrecked.
Yeah.
And I think that is an advantage. I think that's how he manages to race around his teammates in certain situations and comes out on top. And especially when it's tight, right? Especially at Dover like that. So he just he didn't put it on their door. He didn't do anything wrong. I'm not saying anything was wrong with what he did. I just think that he's okay with making you make that tough decision.
So if you're Briscoe, what do you do different?
I think you it's hard to say, but because I'm not driving the car, but I would have probably used him up a little bit more. Like, I think I bouncing it off of him. Like, one of us needs to win. And then maybe in that situation, Chase is like, if I went any further, we're both not going to win. And I respect that. But I think at that point, like, I'm doing everything I can to win that race.
Yeah.
So those two competitors obviously had very strong cars. So too did Chase Elliott. But there was a mistake made on pit road that really kind of took him out of the conversation of being the potential winner. So this happened when the jack wasn't all the way underneath the 9 car. Car fell off the jack. But he'd had a dominant car throughout the course of this race. This is a prime example, though, that the pit crew has to deliver if you're going to win.
The pit crew had a mishap right there, and it cost them the win, or a shot at the win.
Yeah.
Had control of the race.
Yeah, they had control.
Had control of the race at that point. But the one thing that I want to point out, Chase Elliott always talks about qualifying, needs to qualify better. This race, qualifying rained out. He had the track position to start it. And it put him in a position to dominate a race. They got to figure out how to qualify better. They score a lot of points. They're grinders. They overcome things like this. And this shows you what would happen if they would qualify better. They've got the cars and capability from behind the steering wheel to dominate races, which is what we've been talking about him not being able to do. And a lot of that is a result of qualifying.
Saturdays, yep.
Saturdays are setting the tone for the 9 car to not be able to dominate. And now we know Chase Elliott, if he can qualify well, we saw it right here. He can dominate a race like he did at Dover with the car and a team that he has.
What did you see out of Chase Elliott this weekend?
I kept looking up, and the 9 just kept leading more and more laps, and I'm like,
way out.
I'm like, they got their swagger back. Like, they are making some speed. Like, Chase is on the top of his game. He looks
points leader
now. What is he up? 16 points right now. Like, he looks lighter.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he's happy, like he's enjoying what he's doing.
He does.
Which is,
I thought that as well.
Yeah, which is something that I don't know if you couldn't have really said that, like, for sure over the last maybe couple of years, but he looks like he's enjoying driving race cars again. And maybe it goes back to, because this change of car, it goes against just like a Kyle Busch or like a Kevin or a lot of these other guys. It's a different feel. And he was really good with that other feel. Even when we talk about road course racing with him, since the change, he hasn't really been up in the mix with road course racing either. So he's had to learn this whole thing, and maybe it just took him a little extra time than some of his teammates.
But he's still got the same great tendencies that he had with the other car, him and the team. They've got that ability to grind away and get good finishes. And that's what you see in the traditional point standings. But that's not what wins these championships, right? In order to win these championships, they got to do like they did right there when they have the track position to be able to start the race up front, which means they got to qualify better. So they inherited it this week, and we see the potential of the 9 and the things that they can do if they can get Saturdays right.
You gotta really appreciate what Hendrick and Chase and like Allen have all done by not hitting the panic button.
Yeah, they haven't imploded.
They never imploded. They just stayed the course. Like, even when Chase got hurt, it's like, all right, like, we're going through this a little bit. Like, that was the first time, I think, in Chase's career that stuff was kind of in turmoil, a little rocky, and they just stayed the course. And look at what it's doing right now, leading the points.
And that group has been together a long time. From pit crew to road crew, obviously him and Allen, like, there's just so much continuity with that group that have, gone through the trials and tribulations together. So we're talking about...
got that done because Chase fans are really, they're out here for us. They're like, why are we not talking more about the 9?
Here we go. There we did.
Dominate a race. Here it is.
There you go.
We're talking about Hendrick Motorsports, and I want to touch on Kyle Larson. We've documented the fact he seemed a little off since the whole Indy double situation going on. But after that performance, is your confidence restored in Kyle Larson and company?
I had just had the feeling that they were going to run.
Oh, that's right. Because he picked him.
So that's why I picked him. And I think that at some point it becomes about that challenge, like we talk about with Denny, right? At some point you buckle down and you have to get they have the ability to buckle down and get the ship turned around. Yeah. And we know the cars are capable. And now we were back to a little more Hendrick versus Gibbs type of racetrack. And that's exactly what we saw this weekend. Again at Dover was Hendrick versus Gibbs.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And, I think that he was a little slow to get up through.
He started 20.
Yeah. I mean, he was slower to get up through the pack than I thought he would be. But once he finally got up there, he was in the mix. And I thought really at the end, I thought, man, he might have a shot to win this thing with the tire situation. But they definitely needed to get back on track and be able to try to get themselves in a position to get the ship righted. And you've got 5 more races to do that before the playoffs start. But man, I hate that inconsistency. I really hate it. I think that's the thing that the 9 does better than those other 3 cars. Even when they're off, they're figuring out how to finish 6th or 7th, 8th. When the 24 and the 5 are off, it tanks. And the 24 situation is the exact same as it was last year and the year before. Starts off, goes through the summer slump, and then we show back up at the end of the year. But it's just so hard to keep up with the progression. And I think last year the Hendrick cars lost a little bit of speed because they go through that summer slump and then they don't keep up with the progression and find a little bit all the way through that summer and all the different styles of racetracks to match the speed. They're really good at having the speed. They're always seems like a little more prepared from a speed standpoint at the beginning of the seasons than everybody else. And they fire off really good and win a bunch of races. But man, I struggle with that summer slump.
Another team that was going through the slump that it seems like maybe they're getting past is the 48. Had a really strong showing, scored points in both stages, improved his position to the cut line significantly.
Yeah, so I was just about to make sure we brought that up. Alex Bowman's year, I think, is he kind of gets overshadowed a lot. I mean, if you look at it, you got Kyle Larson, arguably one of the best drivers in the world. You got the most popular driver in Chase Elliott, and then you got to the fans, the fans, and then you got William Byron, who wins 5-6 races a year over the last few years. It seems like so. It's hard to shine for him, and he's doing a really good job even after he got hurt. Battling through that.
Walk a few weeks ago.
He's been right there close to Chase Elliott at the end of the races, making up ground. But it's sloppy. It's sloppy getting there. They can grind away and figure out how to get a decent finish. They've done that a lot this year. Yep. But it's just sloppy as far as the results. How many races has William Byron won this year?
Uno.
One. He won the Daytona 500.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say they've thrown away, but there's at least 3 that they probably wish that they could have had back for sure.
Yeah.
Which is very surprising. It's been a weird
season
for them because the speed has been there and then it hasn't been at all.
Then they'll like wreck in practice, or
Then
they'll
they
have
wreck it.
some.
Yeah, it's like,
something
and
else,
it's just,
like-
it's kind of like going back to Bell. It's kind of like the wrecking practice thing. It's like, hey, your car's fast. What do we got to do to just make sure that let's get a good qualifying spot and qualify in the top 5, and let's finish practice and do all those things. They had a few weeks there in a row where they had those scenarios happen, and man, that takes the wind out of your sails.
Well,
and
then-
that's the thing that I hate about, I mean, this is such a momentum-based sport.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you have those wrecks in practice and then do it multiple weeks, or you spin out racing for the lead and don't finish second, like Bell did this week, it just takes the wind out of your sails, and people start to get frustrated. And
Yep.
and it's just figuring out how to walk that line without stepping
Yeah.
over it.
And then this weekend happens where it's at the end of it and you get caught up in something
Someone
that
else's
someone else does.
mess.
So now
Mhm.
you were just about to feel like you were through it, and now you're just right back in.
And now you're going
Right.
to fire off at Indy.
The metric will be.
The metric at Indy could work against you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what time qualifying is, but I know
Okay.
like when I qualified on the pole at Indy, I went out early.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk about Indy
Yeah.
in a second. We're talking about wind out of the sails. And speaking of which, SVG, I just want to touch on this briefly, given the fact that he's been doing so well. We were all curious how he might do at an oval with a good starting position because of the metric and qualifying being rained out. But a very early issue, he didn't seem to know exactly what was wrong at first.
Well, I think that's just some of this is just oval inexperience. Not ultimately it sounded like they had a flat right front tire,
Mhm.
and I think when you look at the pit stop right here, you're coming to a competition caution. Let's just minimize the damage, and we'll assess it at that point, and just change the tires and send him back out on the racetrack right here. So, I think that his feedback on the radio was, hey, I got something broken in the front end, and ultimately it was a flat tire. But I think they should have just changed the tires right there. Instead
Yeah.
of losing 4 laps, lose maybe 2 laps at worst, and give yourself a chance to at least fight back to get back on the lead lap. So sucks right there for those 88 guys, qualifying
Yeah.
good, getting able to start at the front of the pack. A lot of enthusiasm about the things that he's done. Doesn't even get a chance to really fire off and race.
No, and that place is, it's Dover. It's like literally like top 3, 4 hardest racetracks.
Yeah.
We only
No
go
kidding.
there once. He's only seen a place like that the one time he went and experienced it. So like he needed the practice. Like he needed it just to get a feel for what he had. He just think
That's a good point because we had no track time. First lap steer turning was in the race. So
Yeah, hope your sim session.
What's that?
Good luck. Yeah.
hope your shit's right. All right. Moving on now, let's talk about the Brickyard 400, which is coming up next for the series. It's such an iconic racetrack in all of motorsports. Kevin, our man here, has won it 3 times. Very recent wins, I might add. 2019 and 2020 swept the events. It's just such a special place to win at, right?
It's Indy. And really from when I was a kid, I grew up a Rick Mears fan. So growing up a Rick Mears fan, you grew up an Indy 500 fan. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to race at the Brickyard and race in the Indy 500. And so to be able to go there and beat a victory lane, there's not many things like winning at Indy. It's just when you drive in that tunnel and you look around that racetrack, it's massive, first of all. But you know the history. You can feel the mystique of that facility
Like
as
that
soon
word,
as you
mystique.
drive into the tunnel. And it's just it's a special place to win. And for me personally, it was as close as you get to living out your childhood dream.
That's awesome.
And so a lot of cool things that happen in Indy. There's nothing like driving down the front straightaway into those grandstands. Hopefully they get a great crowd there this weekend, because it is just such a historic race, and it was just always so terrible to run backwards on the front straightaway.
Oh,
I was
the road course.
there was not a race on the schedule that
That
I
you
was
did-
more mad about than
that one.
going to the Indy road course. What in the hell were we doing running on the Indy road course? That was pathetic.
Yeah, at least that's over.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a
Yeah,
weird.
all those trophies don't matter.
That was a weird time. That was a
Weird
That was a
time.
weird time.
Yeah.
But when you think about venues, like it's like Indy, Daytona, the Monaco side, and then like Fenway Park, Wrigley Field, Madison Square Garden. Like you're talking about like the iconic venues around the world, and Indy is it's on that list. And the
Mhm.
old pictures of guys with the old open wheel car. I think
Yes,
those
love
pictures
historical
are
photos. Yeah.
wild. Because I'm
They
like,
are.
you guys were badasses. Because they had like a
Mhm.
lap belt maybe and like a leather helmet and just wheeling that son of a bitch. I'm like, you guys are crazy. Like those Indy is a cool place. I'm excited to get there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, get a little Harry and Izzy's steak.
Oh, we said we were going to go to dinner one night.
Yeah, we
while
gotta
we're
do
there.
Harry. Yeah, Harry and Izzy's.
The first
for sure.
day I'm there, I have to work the ARCA truck stubble, so I'll
Maybe
be
you guys
done
could
at like
coordinate your
10
outfits.
at night.
I mean, we do a lot of
What do you
times.
think?
on
We kind of have
accident.
different styles when you say though.
I don't know. Maybe you could just color
Okay, now
coordinate.
we should
Color
do this and
coordinate?
send him a
Yeah,
picture just
okay.
to,
Yeah.
to prove a point that we.
We'll have to go
followed
to,
through.
what is it called? Is it the Wild Beaver? The Wild Beaver.
Oh.
The
What is the
Wild,
Wild Beaver?
the
It's like
Wild
a
Beaver,
karaoke
like,
place.
it's a
Yeah.
karaoke spot
It's-
right on Main Street. It is my
It is
favorite
fun.
bar. Oh my God.
Do you
It's
sing?
Like, I sing, yeah.
What's your song?
Roses by Outkast.
No, I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's
I don't
shocking.
know. Darn.
Yeah.
No one's
Yeah,
surprised.
it's a cool place. Like just the whole weekend is fun.
Whole
The,
vibe.
the
I
like
city
Indy.
is great.
The city is great.
Yeah, it's a marquee race weekend. If you haven't been, you should add it to your list of
IRP.
places you want to go.
IRP
Yes.
for the short track world. That
Mhm.
track was always my favorite.
I've never
Yeah.
been there. so
What?
No, this will be my first time going.
Never
to
been
the-
to IRP?
No.
Wow.
Oh my.
You're
Yeah.
gonna love it.
Kevin, when you guys used to run the Xfinity trucks there, because I know you had some, you ran there a few times. I always felt like that was the best race of the year.
You really just
It-
asked if I ran there a few times.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
ran a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your old age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come
I always
on
felt
now.
like it was the best race of the year.
It was always one of the better ones, and
Yeah.
and it's just it's a really unique racetrack because of where you
Mhm.
run typically up closer to the wall in that higher lane. But once the race starts, you can start running down right next to the grass. That's always where I ran,
Mm,
right
I'm
next to the grass.
writing this down since I
Yeah.
don't know much about the
Yeah,
place.
no, Kevin does not run by the fence. He doesn't.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of
Doesn't
guys
live
that,
the
that
boards.
run down on the bottom once it gets cleaned off.
There you
But
go.
Preferred groove is definitely up the racetrack.
Yeah.
Big Diamond.
Big
It'll
Diamond.
be hot.
Used to
my
always
God.
be
Don't
packed.
remind me.
And the reason that we stopped going there is they had some disagreements on track promoter and
Oh,
things
really?
that were happening. So we stopped going there for a while.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed that when I
It's
was
just
going
ARCA.
through the stats. I was like, why is there this
But
giant
always
break?
it used to have temporary grandstands. I mean, there'd be thousands and thousands
This
of
is
people
great.
that would come over from the big track. So always one of the better races.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. You can
Oh.
catch ARCA and Trucks on FS1 on Friday. So, in-season challenge update. It's the Ty versus Ty show that we're going to see
Tyrone!
at the Brickyard.
You get so excited
Yeah,
about
oh my
this.
God, it's like the highlight of his day.
Oh my God. Listen, Tyrone freaking Dillon, the 32nd seed that no one ever talks about or thinks about, has had actually a pretty good season this year. Like they've ran like around 25th to 22nd, which is probably 10 spots better than I think anyone would have given them credit for.
Yeah.
And he's somehow, they have mustered a way
Mhm.
to find it, to be in the final against Ty Gibbs. So now we got a guy in Ty Gibbs who will be obviously the favorite as far as the equipment goes, and someone who could potentially win this race
Mhm.
against the underdog. And I love that story.
Well, Denny and I talked about this on the victory lap, and I just asked him. I mean, this is kind of his brainchild of the things that he had the idea of, and it's been fun because Ty Dillon wouldn't have been on TV at all because he hasn't run well enough to even be on TV. So it's been really good for his team and the exposure and giving them some things to challenge and expose their sponsors and things that they might not have otherwise been able to do. But I don't think there's one bracket in America that has this final. So I think that the bracket piece of it isn't really being talked about because there are no brackets.
They're all gone.
They
They're all
all
gone.
got busted right
And-
away.
And I think to Denny's point, and I don't know if NASCAR will do this, but I think if you're going to do this again, you need to look at the schedule. I don't think you want all your brackets busted the first week after Atlanta
Yeah.
with the super speedway. Maybe end it that way to make it intriguing. But
This guy.
I mean, there has to be some thought process on that side of it. There's no brackets left, and I think you want to be able to, have a variety of people that could make it to the finals. But it's been fun, I will admit.
He's just dying to speak.
Ty versus Ty.
Ty versus
I think
Ty.
ultimately, Ty Gibbs has the big advantage. I look at Indy as a big team track.
Yeah.
And it's so unique in the things that you need in the car. But we've seen Ty Dillon pull it off somehow every week.
If I'm the caller team, I'm calling Mr. H and being like, brother, we need some help.
Yeah.
You guys got a fifth car over
They're
there.
not gonna
Just
get
come get that thing on over here. We get you a cut of this $1 million. No, but I the whole thing has been great. It's been able to show a lot of people's personality.
Yes.
And I think it's shown the guys that have leaned in.
I was just going to say that.
The guys that have leaned in,
Yeah.
it's like, what is this thing that we do for 38 weeks supposed to be? Fun. We're supposed to enjoy it.
It
Like it's a
definitely-
job, but it looks like they've had fun and that's great. And the fans have been involved with it.
I think the drivers in NASCAR have done a great job with everything this year from a promotion standpoint.
Sure.
We've seen our drivers be more involved in the things that they're doing, obviously with the new DAP program and
The DAP program helps.
and everything that the driver council and NASCAR have put together. The drivers have leaned into that heavily, and then you've got the in-season bracket. You've got different, you've got Amazon and TNT people putting a lot of different ideas out there with things, and it's been a fun year to watch the drivers grow and lean into these types of things.
I have enjoyed watching the drivers embrace it because it did provide some fun social media content, just the banter back and forth.
Yeah.
That was cool.
This time of the year gets really long.
It does, and it provided
I mean?
something else to talk about. Sometimes when there was a lull in the race or something, at least let's remind people of this fun little inner battle.
Kev, what would you, so if you could make the in-season challenge schedule, just like roughly, not like specifics, but what would you want in those
I think you
5
need
races?
to flip it. I think you need your wild card last.
Wild card last.
That's fair.
I think
Yeah.
the wild card needs to be last.
So
and
that the
I
whole
look at Atlanta as the wild card.
so that it doesn't all go up in flames after the first race.
And I think that the first week you start it somewhat traditional, and then you throw in your road courses and things in the middle of it. I just think starting the wild card first kind of just throws the whole thing out the window.
So you don't think losing $1 million on a speedway style rate, like, you know what I mean? Because we got the speedway wreck. So
This is not a knock on the two guys in it, but I
yeah.
think you want as much star power to last as long as you can throughout the whole process.
well, maybe if the star power would have beat the guys that are lesser, then we wouldn't be talking about it.
Well, there's a lot of chance involved. In
Yeah,
Atlanta.
for sure.
Yes, because like Denny was taken out by someone
Sorry.
else's. I didn't even notice. I was just
I'm like, wait, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna go 3 for Dale on that. Just 2 for Rusty. Okay.
all right.
2 for Rusty.
2 for Rusty.
Two for Rusty.
Yeah.
Well, that is what we have to look forward to at the very unorthodox racetrack that is the Brickyard. You're going to want to watch it and tune in. It is time now for Mamba's Social Sips, and he's got a nice big list here of things to contribute to the
Most boring
show.
segment of the show, but
Listen, the world, not just America.
The world.
The world. Welcome
big global
to
guy.
maybe one of the dirtiest Mamba social sips that we'll ever have.
Truth. Yeah, this is a
let me
gnarly.
take a drink.
Yeah,
Just
take
to
it
celebrate.
ready just to get settled in
Flush
here.
down this sneeze.
Yeah,
Flush
so,
down the Rusty.
Kyle Larson. We talk about Kyle Larson a lot. He this past week, big race at Eldora.
He got talked about plenty.
Yeah, he got talked about plenty.
Yes, he did.
He was running, and him and a rival, David Gravel, were getting after it in the heat of battle. So this is at the end of one of the races. I think it was Thursday night, maybe, or Friday night. Rico Abreu wins. I love Rico. Got to give a little shout out to Rico. But after, right there, you see the orange car kind of dart to the left. Larson is in the white car, throws a slider on Gravel. Gravel didn't really appreciate that. I guess they've been racing each other quite hard over the last couple weeks.
I didn't realize. Do they have like a rivalry?
Yeah.
Has that been a pre-existing
That's after
situation?
the race.
That's after the race
Yeah.
that he dumps him. So
Yeah,
like,
I was watching this one.
and no one, like, that's not something that you really see as far as like bumper to bumper with sprint cars. And I was pretty shocked that they did that, but it's entertaining.
And Larson leaned into it, and he said, Gravel and I negotiating his high limits deal for,
Contract
next,
for next-
for 2027. So when Larson
negotiating.
leans into that type of stuff, it makes it fun. And they booed the shit out of David Gravel on Saturday
sure
night.
they did.
No, they
Oh,
did.
yeah.
They did.
Yeah, for all the stuff that he said and did. But they pulled him into the trailer, the World of Outlaws trailer. So they kind of had high limits World of Outlaws together there at Eldora. So sprint car racing got pretty spicy this weekend. I
Very
loved
much
it.
so.
It got spicy. So that was the on track. A little bit of off track fun though. We were just talking about personalities and guys having fun. Kyle Larson is probably an underrated guy. Unless you know him or you've been around him at the dirt tracks, you don't know how much fun he really is. And he really leaned into this bit on stage, and he's got this. It looks like a set head. Honestly, looks like the wig that
it's like a clown wig.
Yeah. He's got the hat on top of it. He's, messing with the MC. And then about a couple of seconds into this thing, everyone's cheering for him. And he puts on this disco ball helmet. Like, I don't know. Like,
he has a drink in his hand.
Yeah, well,
right?
yeah. No, this is post-race. This is it.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
Oh, here's the disco ball.
Kevin, I think you look good in a disco ball helmet. Maybe that should be the next paint scheme for your next helmet.
There you go.
Right now, my helmet is painted like my original late model helmet, but I don't know that. I guess I could bedazzle it.
Yeah.
Oh, Piper.
Who doesn't like a bedazzled helmet?
I could do a bedazzled helmet.
I like that idea.
I think it'd fit you better, though.
Well, I mean, I'm the stylish one, but I'd like to see. I'd like to see you.
I'm there.
First.
I'd tell you that I'm there for go, not show. But right now, I'm just there for show.
Right now, you are just getting that ass waxed when you get in that car by your kid, and I personally love every minute of it.
Of course, you do.
Yeah. So we have some mailbags.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Wait! Sorry. Before the mailbags, I almost forgot. This is actually my favorite. This is actually my favorite sip. So I don't know exactly where this is.
Yeah, can we get a confirmation on where Farmer City Raceway is?
Yeah, I'm not sure where Farmer City Raceway
is.
But there's this.
If you had got here on time, you could have researched.
You're right. Yes. But I got here right in time for the show.
I got the answer. Farmer City, Illinois. Voices in my head.
Illinois,
Thank you, Tyler.
Makes perfect sense because there's a straight late model race out there, and people think Bowman Gray gets after it, but this was well beyond what we normally see.
Really,
this is crazy. Actually,
these guys tangle. Looks like in turn 2, might be 4. I don't know the racetrack at all. So this guy kind of turns around on the racetrack
into oncoming traffic.
Well, they're still green.
This is not good.
So I thought he was going to spear that car. Okay, he doesn't. All right, you made your point.
No real damage to either car at this point.
Right. So you made your point, right? You're mad. You're going to probably get parked for the rest of the night, right, at this point. And now I see him starting to go across to the other side of the racetrack. I'm like, oh, he's going to get him now?
Yeah.
Okay, look, watch this, guys. He just kind of...
Who are these people?
I don't know.
Do we know?
I don't know.
We're
adoring them. Okay, we're mad. We're mad.
Yeah. We're almost stopping.
A little bit of contact. We're in good shape.
Everything's fine. We're probably not... Now we are...
Oh, now we're... oh, man.
Now we're bad.
Yeah.
It went from, okay, maybe we park for the night to never coming back.
Wow.
That could be really bad, too. I mean,
I've never seen that. I've never seen something like that.
I'm amazed how easily it just flipped over.
Yeah,
like that.
I've seen that happen while they're racing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When they, because of the big slope nose and they turn them over. But I've never seen it happen at 5 miles an hour.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that it was able to.
I hate all the retaliation stuff like that. I've done that. I've done that a couple times myself.
Oh,
what a dumb thing to do.
If I wreck you, just punch me in the face after. Don't
there you go.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Note to self, just punch Mamba in the face.
Yeah.
You had said it.
Oh, she's did you see that?
I would never.
To ease over to my team.
I can see that. I can see that. Look, we're going to keep it moving to the mailbags because we actually, the mailbags come in randomly sometimes, but this is a good one. Okay, this is from Scott. I think, is this Mag with 2 A's? Is it still pronounced Mag?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We'll go with Mag. Is Jimmy Johnson's 5 championships in a row the most impressive feat in NASCAR history?
I mean, winning 5 championships in a row is insane. I mean, it's a feat that nobody is ever going to do again. And I think that when you look back at that 48 team, Chad Knaus and Jimmy Johnson and Hendrick Motorsports and the things that they were able to accomplish during that time frame were
unbelievable,
overlooked.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Take for granted.
That's the problem with Jimmy Johnson leaving NASCAR and going to IndyCar. It's like everybody forgot about things like this, and it very well could be the most dominant piece of NASCAR history, winning 5 championships in a row. And when he left and went to IndyCar, it just, the Jimmy Johnson era doesn't get talked about like he's a 7-time champion. A little bit frustrating.
Yeah, it's almost like his legacy is a little overshadowed, and I don't know why.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I feel like Darrell Waltrip is in a lot of the same lane. because there's a lot of people that don't remember Darrell Waltrip being the badass that he was.
Do you
Like,
think
I
that
know.
was because he was teammates with Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon?
I think it's because he came in very similar to Jeff, right? Like a kind of a West Coast guy, and the guys that were here already, the fans loved, like your Tony Stewart's and stuff.
Yeah.
And he started taking away from some of the superstars that were here, and they never could really completely match. Like they'd win still, but not championship.
It's like the most dominant guy on the team during that era was the third driver.
Right, exactly. Like
Yeah, I mean, it was
soft-spoken,
always Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson.
always.
But
the
something
48
there doesn't add up, even the fact that he's not a part of that organization anymore in any type of role.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how it ended or any of that stuff, but I mean, it's a very odd dynamic to, you've got Jeff Gordon in there running the company, a part of running the company at Hendrick Motorsports, and I think that last few years of Jimmy's NASCAR career were rough, and then he went to IndyCar and left, and it's just like everything's forgotten about. It's the strangest thing ever. 7-time champion.
We call him the GOAT when he comes across the stage. There's the intimidator, is Dale. There's the king that's petty, and Jimmy's the GOAT. Like I agree. It's very strange.
I've wondered partially too if it's because he's just not loud about anything that he's ever achieved. Like he's so humble. He does not, you know what I mean? Like his personality, you would never know that he had achieved all that.
I think that probably has something to do with it.
It's odd. It's a crazy. No matter what your personality is or your situation, if you're in there with the all-time greats in other sports, it's just you're just a part of that conversation. He's a part of the conversation, but it's the weirdest thing ever from a NASCAR standpoint, and I think a lot of it has to do with almost being the most dominant guy, but being the third guy in line at the team.
I liked what Fox did this year, though, at the Indy 500, pairing him with Tom Brady, because then it was like you were seeing two of the best in their own respective sports together at an iconic sporting event. Like that actually kind of put it a little bit into perspective, and maybe to fans who aren't familiar with what he's done on the NASCAR side, I thought that was cool.
Just gotta, it's something to think about and how to, because there's a lot of meat there. There's a lot of stories there that are untold.
Yeah.
Right. So another mailbag question. Great, Scott, great question. Another mailbag question. Do you think Michael Jordan regrets joining NASCAR? 23XI has just 8 wins in 5 years. They're suing NASCAR and have spent millions of dollars. Do you think he's still in it for the long haul?
Every time we hear him talk, yes. And I think that this is he's been in some moments like this with the NBA Players Association and the league in the past, but man, it sure seems like it's not going the way that they thought it was going to go. As far as NASCAR is not the NBA, right? Like it's just they're fighting a different fight, and I don't know how it's going to work out for them this time. I think it's affecting their teams, the performance of their teams. I think it's where they are right now, being uncharted, losing their charters.
That's an uncharted waters.
Yeah, literally.
How do you sell sponsorship? How do you keep your drivers? How do you keep your employees? I think that this has gone, I don't think this has gone the way that they thought it was going to go, and now I think it becomes more challenging. Obviously, the trial is in December, and we heard Denny comment on it this weekend about stay tuned, it's all going to get exposed.
Yeah, what does that mean?
So I don't know exactly what that means or where this goes from here, but from a team standpoint, driver standpoint, sponsor standpoint, why do you even want to be in the middle of that until it's over, right? Everybody wants to be in the middle of something that Michael Jordan's doing. You want to have cars that are winning, to put your name on the side, which is where they were last year and not this year. Denny's obviously in the middle of it, winning in a Joe Gibbs car, and he's balancing all that, but I think the team dynamic has become very difficult. So I don't know how frustrated Michael gets, but everything that we've heard him say is he's in it for the long haul, and we'll find out.
He was going to like every race. Have you seen him at the track recently?
I mean, I honestly have only seen him a few times, but I know that
that's not abnormal though. There's a lot of times he's there and you'll never
know because he'll be on the backstretch or something and no one would you just wouldn't know. I think that he's here for the long haul. I hope
so.
I mean, they just built a mega facility
Yeah.
Beautiful
You don't do
campus.
that without a long-term commitment. That is a long-term commitment, right? And then on top of that, every time you see Michael Jordan smiling,
Yeah.
where is he at?
He loves it.
He's at the
he
freaking
loves
racetrack.
the sport of NASCAR and the things that he wouldn't have gotten involved in if he didn't. But whew, man, you picked a tough opponent to battle with this time. And it's not like other sports.
Yeah.
It's never gonna be like other sports. It's just different. And I think it would be a lot different if all the other teams hadn't signed the charters. The one I'm worried about more than Jordan is Bob Jenkins.
I'm terrified for him.
It wouldn't surprise me if Bob just said, I'm out.
I'm terrified for that group because
Yeah.
I don't know how, like, you've been tagging along with this whole thing, but now, like, that charter situation, that really, really affects your business model. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
serious.
and they got to pay all the money back. Yeah, so I mean,
Lot going
it's, not only are you paying the lawyer fees and have all this turmoil around it, now you got to pay the money back that you've already spent.
It's a very complicated matter.
Very complicated.
For sure.
I'm glad I'm not
There you
involved
go.
with that. That is
All right.
the Dirty Mamba Social Sips.
Dirty sips.
Dirty
Dirty
Mamba.
martini.
Yeah. Dirty sips.
Dirty Sips. We had some
Yeah.
Dirty Sips.
What was
today.
his nickname?
No.
Slappy.
Why?
Yeah.
No, if you can't remember it, you can't
Yeah.
bring it up. That's not how this works.
Good job, Slapstick. Way to go.
If you want to leave a voicemail, 805-317-4175. And as always, the mailbag questions, HarvickHappyHour4@gmail.com.
There you go. Well done, Mamba.
Hey,
Time
thanks.
now for our last call. So, Kevin, before we get into our picks for this week, let's take a look at the best bet of the weekend, courtesy of DraftKings.
Yes, and that was Dennis Hamilton. I mean,
The old
Denny
Dennis.
Hamilton. Yeah, Dennis was
Dennis the
plus
Menace.
450 this week. So
Ooh.
It's actually,
it's not SVG
no, but
on a road course,
Bad.
but pretty good for an oval. And I think you could have done fairly well. Probably a really safe bet, as you like to say.
Don't stop
Safe
looking at me
bet.
like,
Really
this kid's
safe-
looking at me like,
really
I
safe bet.
told you.
I mean, unless you just want to be
Mhm.
last. But anyway, take the checkered flag with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Harvick. That's code Harvick for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours,
There
I
you
can't-
go.
but not really.
DraftKings, can we get, I just want
crown
to be
is
able to pull
Kevin's.
this DraftKings crown out every time for that
We
part.
need to get something.
yeah, I
Yeah,
need,
just
yeah, I
to,
need
Yeah.
to figure that
a
out.
nice
Need a crown.
prop.
Put it
We need
on
a prop.
sideways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you made the comment earlier off camera. You think Denny has heard about the fact that we rate the burnout. Well, I think he does listen to most racing podcasts because obviously he has one himself.
I
But
think he listened.
what did you think of this burnout that he did?
I'm gonna set this up by saying Dover is the hardest place to do a burnout.
Harder than Bristol, right?
It's way harder than
Yeah.
Bristol, just because there's no apron down there, and
It's
with all the banking and everything.
Narrow, yeah.
That part
So
was sick.
he did pretty good
Mhm.
for a Dover burnout, but I don't know.
It was pretty good.
It
I
was
would
a
say
great,
it's one of the
it was
better
a
ones.
great
yeah.
Dover burnout.
Great
Okay.
I
Dover
would give
burnout,
I would
Denny.
give a great Dover burnout, but I don't think it's top 5.
Okay.
I got to be honest. When he started getting all the smoke going, and it started driving back down the hill, and he had the presence of mind to stand back in the brake real quick, but never stop the burnout.
Yeah.
That got me. I was like, okay, that was.
Oh, by the way, I did let SVG know he's P1 on your
Oh,
burnout
good.
list
That
when I
would-
had to
yeah.
interview him in
Yeah.
your place.
say?
But
was
overall,
excited.
very good Denny Hamlin Dover burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's had a lot of these.
Just
Mhm.
hard to do something impressive. I mean, you'd have had to like crash the car, catch it on fire, flip it over, something like that.
Flip it over. There you go.
I mean, we saw a dirt car flip it 5
we
miles
did.
an hour.
Yeah,
5 miles
so
an
it
hour.
is possible.
Yeah.
So he's at like, is he like? Is that top 10?
I don't know. How many
Okay.
races have we had?
Too
I don't
ma-
even think
too
we can get
many.
into top 10. It's too hard to think that far back.
Okay, so he's not in the top 5.
Not-
and that's
no
all.
top
that
five.
Okay.
Okay.
All
No top
right.
five.
Sorry, Dennis.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
Good effort though.
Speaking of not good efforts, we're going to go to the point standings, unfortunately,
Oh,
where I
man.
continue to lose ground.
Stretching
I
my legs
really
a little
thought
bit.
that Joey
Yeah.
Logano was going to deliver for me better than
Those
that.
guys are off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not in the making up ground category like they were last year. I mean, they're off.
It's back to the 12 is again leading.
He's
like a-
leading the charge, but he was
No,
He
they
was
were
just
he was
okay
like
this week.
8th.
Mhm.
Like at
Austin
best.
Cindric. I don't even know where he is.
Where
You
happened-
said 2-car earlier.
You
I didn't
think-
even remember who drove it.
Where's Josh Berry?
Josh Berry's not been anywhere in sight either. So it's definitely been very interesting to see the amount of speed that 21 had at the beginning of the year.
So much.
All the
Yeah.
speed is gone.
I'm not sure what happened.
In the 22.
I shouldn't have chosen him. Yes, I see
He's
that.
never won at Dover either, so that was also part of the.
Yeah,
I think my pick was good.
You picked up some points.
Bubba,
with Bubba.
yeah,
I had the highest finish again.
Yeah,
I'm glad you fired back at that dickhead who criticized you for the Bubba pick.
Oh, you got criticized.
Yeah.
People are a pain.
It happens quite a bit, but
a bit.
Yeah, it happens quite a bit, and that's fair because we live in the same building but have different views, and I'm not mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but like they just think that they really.
I don't mind your opinion.
I know, I appreciate
not just
that.
yours, but I'm just saying in general. I don't mind your opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
fine.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Most of them
about
I
me.
ignore anyway, but it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so it's time to make our selections for this week. So, Kevin, you can go first. Who do you got?
Where are we racing?
Indy.
Going to Indy this week.
Yeah, Indy, not the little track, the big track, and not the road.
You don't want
course.
me to pick first. I'm going to pick last because
Okay.
I'm just dominating this.
No, because he takes low hanging fruit. He doesn't go out on a limb.
yeah, that's why I
ever.
want you to pick first. So you,
I'm not going on a limb this week either.
Caitlin, you pick first.
I'm
because you're
taking
last.
Kyle Larson. I have renewed confidence after what I saw this past weekend. He won this race a year ago. I'm team 5.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm going with Chase Briscoe.
Okay, I like that pick.
Chase Briscoe.
Chase Briscoe.
They're on a roll.
They're
are.
on a roll, and this is a home. This is
Oh,
This is
yeah.
a home race for him.
And he won the other course.
He did win.
Yeah.
He did win the other course,
Mhm.
or he came maybe in the Xfinity series. He won the other
No,
course.
I swear he didn't. I'll look
Anyway,
it up.
I think it's big week for Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, well, yeah, like you say, being hometown, he's going to be.
It'd be
It's
jacked
going to
up.
go one of two ways. He's going to be highly motivated to finish really good, or he's going to be highly motivated and just have it be a complete.
That's
Clint
usually
Boyer
how it
meltdown.
works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who you got?
Did you say a
Um,
Clint Boyer meltdown?
Yeah.
Did you
Have you not heard? No. Have you not heard Clint talk about when he used to go to Kansas and just how it would just melt down?
yeah.
And he was always just. We talked about it on the pre-race
Yeah,
broadcast
yeah,
or
yeah.
something, and
Yeah.
he talked about Kansas and every time he would melt down and never ran very good there.
I'm just
so.
waiting
Oh, no.
for Clint to be hiding behind the wall of one of these shows and John Cena
Pop
and Kevin
out.
when he just randomly.
I just hope he's okay. Is he still alive?
Where is he been?
I don't know. He's
I mean,
non-existent.
Clint call a friend.
Yeah.
Let's check
I
in.
called him the other day. He didn't call me back. So
What?
I'm not calling him anymore.
Okay.
Gosh.
Who are you
All right.
picking?
I'm not sure yet. I'm formulating it. I'm formulating it in my head right
formulating.
now. Yeah. But I'm going to go with Chase Elliott.
Okay.
Okay.
I
I
like
just
that
think
pick.
that Dover was a good weekend. I think this is
Mm-hmm.
a big team track. And, I think that the Hendrick versus Gibbs thing showed up last week, and I don't think it's going anywhere here.
You know,
Okay.
if I was not myself, people to look at the Ford from the Ford camp, Blaney's always really good here.
That'd
And
be a
last
good pick.
year,
Mhm.
Brad was in position to have a shot at. And
He's
ran
won
out
there
of
in the
gas.
past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just
Not
think
Brad,
that, I
but
think
the 60 car is who
I
I'd
think
look
that
at.
from Brad's standpoint, I think they're 5 weeks away of having to do something different because
Mm-hmm.
it has been not good.
Yes. Well, we are anxiously awaiting to see how it will all unfold on Sunday. So those are our picks. Now, Thursday, you got a special interview with Mike Skinner.
Yes, and Skinner has some great stories. I love these old guys. I'm glad that everybody
love these
listening
old guys.
likes to listen to those interviews because they have great stories.
Mhm.
And I had no idea that what Mike Skinner wanted to do before he started racing. So I can't
Oh.
wait for everybody to hear
We'll
that.
have to listen and find out.
But he's got great stories and just a great time to be a part of racing as it was going through the changes that it was going through with the Truck Series and Cup Series. So good conversation.
the first time I ever did
you go.
anything broadcast was at the U.S. Short Track Nationals at Bristol. My first Victory Lane interview was Mike Skinner, and I was
Oh, that's neat.
so jacked up because
Really?
yeah, because Mike Skinner is like one of the OGs that like you remembered
Mm-hmm.
from that did all the things. You're like, man,
Yeah.
that's like one of the guys. So
Yeah.
it's super cool.
That's cool. My first interview was him. We've talked about that.
Was it in Victory Lane?
No,
Yeah, of
but
course,
just
he
my
didn't win.
first on
Yeah.
network television. Good times. All right, that does it for episode 48. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys after ending. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Leave a 5-star review. Leave a mail question for Mamba. We'll see you next week.